Good win for our ball club. Good warm day. First off, I'd just like to give credit to, McConnell, Farrell, that offensive lineup. Those two guys are really good players, and I felt like as a coach, every time they rolled around in the lineup, they had a chance to score. Just a really good offensive ball club with those two at that part of the lineup, and then Bert. I thought Bert, the shortstop, a senior. If you really look through that lineup and see so many juniors and seniors, you can see why they're here in this tournament. And Bert made a couple of plays at short and had a long extended 10-plus pitch at bat. And those guys were really good for them today. But I'm proud of my guys. I'm proud of the guy down on the end, Tanner Burns, a freshman, and his first opportunity to play in the postseason. He gets the baseball, and I knew the whole key was getting out of the first inning. Once he accomplished that mission, I thought he just kept battling and willed it. Brett Wright, his catcher, just did a good job of continuing to work. Coach Smith getting Tanner settled into the ball game, and it got us 6 full innings out of the deal. I thought that our freshmen really showed up, especially offensively. There's kind of been some questions and a battle cry for us about Stephen Williams hitting in the 2-hole, and we've just persevered and hung in there with him, and for him to have the day he had at the plate today, I'm proud of him and Gabe and all of our players just continuing to work during this downtime since the SEC tournament, and for him having a big day, including the home run. And then I just thought the first inning was huge. They had bases loaded. We wound up getting out of the inning, I think pop-up, ground ball, and then Ed hitting the home run in the first inning. I thought going up 3-0 was huge in the ball game, even though it was early in the ball game. But thankful to get this first one. Looking forward. I think we had a cramp or two in the heat today. So maybe this is a message to my players instead of to the media and our fans about hydrating tonight, getting off your feet, and getting ready for whatever opportunity lies before us tomorrow.
We'll start with questions. Just raise your hand and microphone will come to you.
Butch, you talked about the veterans from Northeastern. Do you remember an NCAA tournament game where you're bringing in 3 true freshmen to talk about the way they performed in an environment like that?
It's pretty neat. When I asked George, our sports information director, I'm like, who's coming with me over to the interview? And he said, these 3 freshmen. It's just pretty neat. Now we got, one more guy in Cody Greenhill who didn't get to participate today. So this is 3/4 of that freshman group that made, the freshman all-SEC team. And that was by far the most in our league. And I think LSU had 2, which was the second most in our league. So these 3 guys, along with Cody Greenhill, are 4 of our freshmen that have been out front and that led us to an opportunity for us to be here. So this is a core group that I look forward to working with and coaching, the next few years.
Coach, I heard you telling the players after the game, stay hydrated. What's your game plan between now and tomorrow's game at 7 o'clock? It's supposed to be a little cooler, 82 degrees versus, I think it's 88 right now. What are you going to be doing with them this evening, tomorrow, to leading up to the 7 o'clock game?
Yeah, I think getting back, getting showers, nothing earth-shattering or anything, but getting a good meal in us, and then just starting that hydration process. We will meet at 10:30 tonight. So we have a room reserved. The entire program will get together. I'll go through our game notes or the positive comments or the adjustments we need to make. We needed to play a game on this field. It's the first time I've ever been on campus. Y'all 3 too, right? So, we got, that first bounce can be hard. That backstop, that ball can come off there pretty quick. We overslid second base 2 times. All the things that we can recap tonight at 10:30. Plus, I hope we got a feel of who the opponent is that we'll be playing tomorrow. And then we'll immediately break up position players, pitchers, and we'll go into a scouting report or a mindset of preparation for what we're going to see. I like for them to go to bed with that information instead of waking up the next day. So we'll allow them to visualize and plan a little bit by knowing who we're going to play and maybe what to expect a little bit more tomorrow. And then we'll have to find a game plan for tomorrow because we're not going to sit in a hotel and lay down. And we'll have to find some kind of movement patterns for them in the morning till we start clicking into that 4 or 5 hours leading up to game time at 7.
For Tanner, just how important was that first inning for you, just to kind of get out of that with no damage and get you settled down a little bit?
I got shaken up a little. I gave up those 3 hits, but I always trust Coach Smith and Brett Wright, what they put down. So, I mean, just having trust for them 2 guys really gives me confidence with throwing each pitch. So. Yeah, I mean, that wasn't my best outing, but I had to keep fighting each inning, each pitch, and the offense gave me a lot of confidence to go back each inning and keep getting us back in the dugout. So I give all the credit to the offense today. They kept me motivated, and they had me a lot of confidence come back each inning.
Second row, right side.
For Steven, just how have you handled these last 18 games when you were kind of struggling at the plate, and what did it mean for you, for the coaching staff to stick with you in that 2-hole the whole time?
Yeah, it means a lot for them to stick with me right there. And lately, I've really been struggling, just pulling off a lot of balls, and I looked at some at-bats earlier in the year, and I really just worked left side primarily. And me and Gabe, past few days, been in the cage working on going back to the left side and focusing on the left side of the field, and that's what I came here to do. And BP, I was working on that, and it helped me out in the game today pretty good. So.
And I know you and Edward have kind of been going back and forth this season to see who's hottest at the plate. You going to hold it over him today that you outperformed him?
I don't know. He's still at 3 for 4, and he's got me pretty good on home runs and RBIs at this point. But I mean, yeah, I guess I'll give him a little bit of talk a little bit of trash to him for going 4 for 4.
Front row in the middle.
Edward, that 3-run homer, and I guess for you too, Steven, just to have that success early, to kind of get on the board, how important was that?
I mean, it was huge. Butch always talk about that, to win the first inning, and it's a big part of our year to always win the first inning, and I think that's our goal every game, to go out strong and win the first inning and put run on the board. So it was big for me and the team.
Yeah, that was really big for us. I mean, usually in the games we struggle, it takes us a while to get started, and a lot of the games that we come out in the first inning, first couple innings, whenever we come out strong like that, we usually come out on top. So that's usually a big point of focus for us.
Front row left.
Butch, the obvious is you've gotten through a game without having to use Cody Greenhill, no Calvin Coker, no Davis Daniel. How key is that in a tournament environment to be able to have them at full rest tomorrow and Sunday?
It's not only the coaches I kind of game plan with, it's our players too. I think I've done that more and more, I think, since I've gotten here, of like I clue our players into why this is important. And, we tried to keep our offense opened up today, where if there was an opportunity not to use Cody, that was a goal. That was another offensive goal. Once we got ahead, stayed ahead, and wanted to keep pushing it out, was to keep Cody Greenhill out of the game. So that became our mission later on with our offense, and I thought they just kept playing baseball, allowed that to happen to allow him to be fresh and available and ready to go for game 2.
Yeah, Butch, I know he's done this before, but what does it say about Edward's power that he can go opposite field and, didn't put a hard swing on it, but still generate enough power to get it out of here?
Yeah, I think that's comfort for him. I think it's comfort for both these guys, and really you're performing at your best when you can just slow the game down and relax and allow the ball to travel and get to you and put a good, short, easy swing on it. Most of our problems happen when our bat's too slow for the speed that we're trying to compete against. A lot of times our challenges happen when we try to go get something. Whenever these guys can let the ball really travel and put a short, easy swing on it and just trust their ability to take over is when you see them perform, and I saw that in their at-bats today for sure.
As a follow-up, both these guys are really talented, we know that, but what does it say about them mentally that they're able to make adjustments, deal with stretches where they're not, they're swinging and missing a lot and still come through? Yeah,
they're skilled, and I think going through our 10 weeks of SEC, I think they've learned every lesson. I think they've had success. I think would sit here and tell you that they've been through some adversity of their at-bats of like, I'm trying to figure this thing out. And I think our league tests you and turns you inside out so much that if you can hang in there and you can maintain confidence in yourself, because all 3 of these men have had enough confidence already at this level that, if confidence comes from skill acquisition, they've acquired skill this year. Now they just have to understand the game's challenging, and you got about 0.4 of a second to get work done. But I think all the challenges they had only make them stronger now because they've hung in there so well and they're ready to go.
Last question.
Butch, do you know now who starts tomorrow, or does it depend on the outcome of tonight's game?
It'll depend on the outcome of tonight's game.
All right, Coach, thank you and your players for being here.
Thank you, sir.